What's happening, my beautiful people? My name is Mike LaBelle, and today we have the top 5 clubs that you're going to want to use in FIFA 19. I realize the title has not came out yet, the installment. Mike, how do you know what clubs we should be using? Because I pay attention to football, I know FIFA inside and out every single year, and I know what kind of players are going to develop and which ones are kind of going to fall off. And this is all about FIFA. Do not take this top 5 into consideration with real football, just about performance within the game. If you enjoy the content though, drop a thumbs up. I want to see your top 5. Put that in the comments. Do we agree? Do we disagree? And the office is under construction. It's going to be ready for FIFA 19. I've got a lot going on behind me. If you have any questions or suggestions, I'm listening. I'm also in the process of upgrading some of my audio equipment, and I might do the same with visuals. And just to reiterate, I appreciate all you guys that have stuck with me over the last 2 or 3 months. I know FIFA 18 kind of died down quickly. We didn't see as much content.
My name is Silver and Gold. Girls these days is out of control. You out of your mind. You think I'm blind to the facts. I know.
Let's talk honorable mentions. I'd like to begin with Liverpool. Are they going to have a good year in real life? Absolutely. Most people have them either winning the league or coming second, hands down. No debating. The defense is young, they have potential, and they performed last year. But because so much is based on potential, I don't know what EA is going to give Liverpool in terms of some of these ratings. You still got Lovren as a center back. You need a different option. And in the midfield, I feel like Liverpool has good balanced midfielders. When you're looking at a Henderson, Wijnaldum, we got Naby Keita now, we got Fabinho. You have a lot of good players that were brought into the midfield, but I don't know if you have that spectacular, if you have some of these true number 10s. And then when you look at the attack, which is going to be their strongest point of emphasis on this team, your best player has one major flaw, and I don't think we're going to see that changed in FIFA 19, a 2-star weak foot. So we know he's going to that left constantly. You've also got Mane, you got Firmino, and I like these guys, and I definitely think they're top tier, but I don't know if that's going to be enough to put them in the top 5, and that's why I have them as an honorable mention. Next up, another surprise choice, we have Bayern Munich, who's hands down the best team in Germany every single year. I want to start with their attack. Lewandowski hasn't been a badass in FIFA in quite some time, and that's not going to change as he gets a year older. They don't win the Champions League, you name it. Will he be able to finish? Yes. Is he going to be quick and agile and one of those players that can execute skills? Absolutely not. Same can be said about Thomas Muller. They give him good stats, but never anything that really jumps out at you. It doesn't stand out. And then their wingers are getting older with Robin, with Ribéry. They're no longer going to be these players that are extremely explosive, and I don't feel that Bayern has enough in terms of some of the backups to really say, yes, this team warrants a top 5 club in the world based on some of these aging players and then some of their young talent with like the Komans. They got Goretzka, they lost Vidal. Bayern Munich's best asset is still going to be their defense when you're looking at Alaba, Boateng, Kimmich, and having Neuer in goal. But I don't know if that's enough to really keep them in the top 5 for FIFA 19, considering some of the changes that have been made and how clubs performed last year. Rounding out my honorable mentions in a club that just never comes up in terms of being outside of the top 5, we have Real Madrid. And yes, they lost Cristiano Ronaldo, that's huge, but also some of their best players, they're a year older now, and we know that EA, regardless of how you performed the year before, they start slowing you down a little bit, and pace is important. And I just don't think Real Madrid brought in enough talent to warrant them being a guaranteed top 5 selection in FIFA 19. They still have Gareth Bale, they've got Modric, Toni Kroos, who always is disappointing unfortunately in FIFA. They've got Benzema, who I think EA is ready to start slowing down just a tad bit. Similar to Bayern Munich, the most exciting part of Real Madrid is going to be their defense. When you've got Marcelo and Ramos and Varane and Carvajal, you've got Courtois now, and maybe you still want to start with Navas, but I don't know if I really rate their attack that much going forward. Isco's another one of those players that is brilliant in real life, and the same could be said about Asensio, but in FIFA, neither of them have broken through as superstars. This team could still be in the top 5, but I want to see how it flows. I need to see some of these ratings. Basically, who's going to replace that Cristiano Ronaldo wow factor, because you used to be able to combine Ronaldo with Gareth Bale, and just having that 2-piece was enough. We could also talk about Casemiro and the importance of having players that are able to break up plays, but he just keeps getting slower in FIFA as well. And as I before mentioned, as much as I love Toni Kroos, EA just doesn't do justice by him. He's going to be walking speed once again.
Let's see who stay, let's see who go. Let's see who real, let's see who fake. Let's see who really mean it when they call me bro.
Top 5. And these are not listed in order, just the 5 clubs that I think you're gonna use, abuse, appreciate, and they're gonna make a difference for you. If you're playing any of those brand new kickoff game modes, these are gonna be the 5 go-tos. Number 5, we have PSG. And with the combination of Neymar and Mbappe, and the season that Mbappe's had, the explosiveness, what you get going in behind, the skill moves, that wow factor, the ability to turn nothing into something is going to be so special going forward with this squad. I am curious to see what happens with Cavani in terms of his ratings. He's another player that typically underperforms in FIFA, even though he does put up good numbers in real life, and he's definitely a player that you wouldn't want to run into if you're a defender. And they still have the Brazilians on the defensive end when you're looking at a Marquinhos or a Silva. They brought in Buffon, and you've got potential problem matchups when you're looking at the Draxlers or the Di Marias. Even Weah is an interesting one. I know he's young, but I see a lot of talent there, and I could see him developing, getting some informs, possibly getting some major upgrade cards throughout the year. I think PSG is going to slide in there just off their attack being so damn scary.
I know, everybody ain't for me. I know, it's the same story.
Number 4, we've got Barcelona. And typically Real Madrid kind of stomps on Barcelona, at least in FIFA. They're close, but because of the Ronaldo factor among other players on the Real Madrid roster, they usually outperform Barcelona. But this year it's going to be different. You've still got Messi, you've got Suarez, you brought in Vidal. I like the direction Dembele's going in. Alba as a defender is somebody that's a little bit underappreciated. I think that might be where Barcelona struggles a little bit, is depending what defensive options you'd like to use for your back four. How aggressive are you? How passive are you? PK is definitely going to be slow in FIFA 19. There's no doubt about it. Remember, he's getting older. He's a big defender. He's never been a crazy athlete. But you do have Umtiti, got Samito. They also brought in Malcolm, who's another speed demon when you're going forward. Messi's going to be a difference maker in FIFA 19, and he should have no issues finding capable options to finish some of the plays that he's created. When you're looking at the attack going forward and the speed they have, of course, you also have Coutinho as well. The only concern might be a little bit on the defensive end.
Take me under. I never let him take me under. Take me under. I never.
Number 3, and I want to reiterate, these are not in order, but we have Manchester City, who I think is going to repeat in the Premier League. I made that prediction in a video earlier this year. When I look at their squad in FIFA, you've got KDB, Aguero, Sane, Sterling, Gabriel Jesus, Mr. Jesus. The mix of veterans and young talent that's going to be at their highest level of potential coming into this new installment of FIFA, I think it's going to be a problem. Unfortunately, you do have to kind of eliminate or cut off or not take into consideration the guys like David Silva or Bernardo Silva. I don't know if Vincent Kompany's really going to be a factor on the defensive end. You still got Kyle Walker. You've got Mendy. I don't think their defense is going to be terrible or anything along those lines. I like Ederson as well. Other than that, everywhere on the pitch, you should be able to do a little bit of everything. You've got Fernandinho as well. You just have good options and a lot of interchangeable players in case you want this style of player or that style of player, or if you want to maneuver into different formations.
Take me down. I never let him take me down. I never.
At number 2, we've got their rivals, Manchester United. I don't think they're going to outperform them in the league, but they could make an argument or a case in FIFA when you have the likes of a Lukaku, of a Pogba, both coming off great World Cups, and I think they're going to be in form in next year's title, and they're also big, athletic, physical. They just fit the characteristics of what you want when you're building out a FIFA squad. When you're putting together your starting 11, if you can get fast players that are skillful, that can finish, that are strong, everywhere on the pitch, that's going to be a good look. Don't forget about the Martial or the Rashford, the Sanchez. Regardless of how they're performing in real life, these guys show out in FIFA. They're difference makers. You still got Valencia, you have Bailly, you've got De Gea, who was the best goalkeeper hands down in FIFA 18, and I'm not expecting that to change going into FIFA 19. But we're not done yet. We've got more young talent with Lingard. You've got a couple veteran players when you're looking at Herrera or Matic or even Smalling. I'm very interested to see what EA does in terms of ratings for Smalling, because we've seen him extremely overpowered in FIFA. We've seen him average. Is this year going to be another average year? Maybe below average? Is he on his way out? Because you do need 2 center backs that you can 100% count on in your squad when you're playing FIFA if you want to be considered one of the best clubs in the world.
Take me under. Take me under. I never let him take me under. Take me under. I never.
And last but not least, no surprises, at number 1, even though they're not in order, we have Juventus, who has everything. Let's just talk about some of their key players. Cristiano Ronaldo, Dybala, Alexandro. You've got deadly wingers with Douglas Costa, Cuadrado, which fits the mold of this team. You need the skill move maestros, the guys that can cut inside, that can whip in crosses, especially when you have such good options to aim at. Do we even need to talk about the defense? Juventus can dress out 2 world-class teams right now. I mean, you've got Chiellini, Barzagli, Bonucci, Benatia, and you can just keep naming defender on defender or midfielder on midfielder. Do you want to use a Pjanic? He's there. How about a Blaise Matuidi? He's there. And I believe the versatility that you're going to be able to appreciate in FIFA is going to make all the difference, especially tactically. If you are a tactical master, and EA is stressing the importance of tactics in FIFA 19, how can Juventus be a letdown? As someone who's a FIFA enthusiast and analyzes every detail, I don't see a team that can be better than Juventus in FIFA 19, just period. I know this list wasn't necessarily in order, but who's going to outperform Juventus? But I have a lot more content coming for you ASAP. It's good to be back talking to the camera. The office is coming together, I promise you. Until next time, peace.
Take me